Randytbird here, off on my Sunday ride. See the sign, Sunflower 9, pacing 43. Not sure where I'm going, but I know I'm headed north, riding through the mountains. Sonoran Desert in Arizona. I probably sound like a broken record about these mountains, but you know what? In the Sonoran Desert, but you know that's where I live, so it's where I ride. Just riding my softail. A nice cool morning. At least cool for Arizona. Up there in the distance is a mountain that's called Mount Ord. Goes up to about 6,000 feet, I guess. I just love this road. Get a good view of the Saguaros here in the Sonoran foothills that before you start going up into the higher elevations. Some people don't like cactuses. I think they're cool. It's mountains. The way the light's hitting the mountains today is very pretty, I think. Almost got the road to myself this morning. It's about 7 in the morning, a little after 7. Weekend after a holiday weekend, and a lot of people don't go out after spending Labor Day up in the mountains or whatever. I think that's the best time to go, is when you haven't got the crowds. This is a nice curvy road as you wind your way up out of the desert into what they call the transition area up here. It's pinyon pines and elevation of about 3,500 feet or so. Pulls off a little bit as you go up the mountain. Got these nice sweepers here on Highway 87. Just the view is awesome. I'm hoping my microphone is sounding a little bit better this week. I've tried relocating the microphone, try to get less wind noise. I've got a pretty quiet helmet, but I think maybe I had the microphone mounted a little bit too low, so it was picking up some of that noise. So we'll see how this comes out. Love this section of road here, nice and curvy. The new softail frame, much tighter than the old ones, and arguably handles better than the Dyna. I'm no speed demon anymore, but I do like running the curves, especially when there's no traffic, no motorhomes or nothing to slow you down or make you do lane changes that you probably wouldn't do otherwise. Love the sound of the motor when it gets a little bit of load on it as you're going uphill. Just a fantastic ride day. Area there had a fire several years ago and hasn't come back completely yet. But the range and forest fires out here, they burn out one area and leave a bunch of trees standing, almost like a tornado damage. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, a lot of these fires are caused by careless people throwing cigarettes out the windows, but a lot of them are caused by lightning too in the monsoon season. All I know is we've had a lot of fire these days around the state, around the country, and people just need to be careful and watch what they're doing, think about what it is. You always hear about you know, no buildings were lost, or the loss of buildings or homes or whatever. You know, that stuff can be rebuilt, but you can't rebuild the forest or the desert. You know, once it's gone, and it changes the environment around it. And I try not to seem like a tree hugger or whatever, but I do appreciate the world. And you know, there's people who will deny out there that things are changing, but I've noticed in the last many years living here in Arizona, it gets hotter than hotter at night. The city doesn't cool off at night. We don't get the storms that we used to. This year we've had only about less than an inch of rain all summer, and this is one of our wet times of the year. They call it the monsoon out here, and it hasn't happened this year, and we're already in a pretty serious drought. We were fortunate to have a fairly wet winter, but then it just stopped, and literally nothing has happened since May. A few areas of town have got a little bit of rain, but where I live is within 5 miles of the airport, and the last storm that we had dropped a whopping 0.14 hundredths of an inch, which is basically a sprinkle. Not good. Everything is very dry. You can see that on the sides of the road with all the yellow grass. If the monsoon was happening, it would be very green around here. I just got a nice little blast of cool air as you get up this mountain. It seems like you get to this one point and everything cools off about 5 to 10 degrees in a matter of yards. It's pretty cool. That's the variety of Arizona there for you. Pretty soon I'm coming to an area that's called Sunflower, and it's a wide spot on the road. It has a house there that's kind of a towing place, but many years ago there used to be this little restaurant bar that sat down in there that was the coolest place, and a lot of people on motorcycles went up there every weekend, and everything from Harleys and touring bikes and just about everything, off-road bikes. It was a real cool area, and it burned down and they never replaced it. And there's also another area up here called Bushnell Tanks. I used to go camping a lot at. It was beautiful box canyon. You could go shooting, whatever. And then they had another fire up here that burned the hillsides, and the Forest Service closed literally one of my favorite areas in this world. And the last time I talked to the Forest Service, the Ranger District were out it, they said don't count on it being opened anytime soon. Well, it's already been closed down for about 10 years, and I don't know if I'll ever see it opened up again in my lifetime. You can park and walk back in. It's a couple miles back where we used to camp. Coming up to the turnoff here, and you can look down in there. That clearing used to be where the little bar was, bar restaurant. Missed that place too. You can see the turnoff to Bushnell here, and you can park up there by the exit, but you got to walk back in or ride a mountain bike or something. There's no motorized vehicles allowed back in there anymore. It's a sad state of affairs. Anywho, just another glorious day. Well, I'm going to cut this one off for now, and it's Randytbird, and I will talk to you soon.